Alright, let's pull this apart. Top off. Start working on the sides. Sometimes it helps. Put a screwdriver in. Start twisting. So kind of help get it open. There we go. So this is the Marx element. Looks to be in fairly decent shape, however it did not work. So we'll clean up all these surfaces here and then install the new element and put it back together. Okay, now we're going to silicone up the housing, because if you don't do this step, you'll leak smoke out of the cylinder. It puts out way too much smoke. So, slather up on there. Doesn't have to be too thick, you're just trying to seal up the surface because these weren't built to be super nice units. Originally from the factory, they were never really intended to be repaired. Just cheap toys. So make sure you get it all on there. Now the original method calls for the housing to be grounded by the element. I will wire this directly to the negative side of the train, and so it doesn't require that anymore. But basically here is the element that I pre-make. It has a nice little wick on it. Let's start the install. So I'll get these in place, a little flapper. Sometimes it's a little juggling match to get everything together right. But let's see what we can do here. Get the flapper in there. So, get that down in there. There we go. A lot of times if you can get a little crimp on these, that'll help get these seated back down in there again. Now what I will normally do is put a wire tie around this to help hold it while that silicone starts to set up. I will throw a wire tie around it. We'll keep it nice and tight. I can just cut it off later. A little more scrunching looks like. You see here, green is the negative on this one, red is the positive. Normally I do red, black, but for some reason the black wire has disappeared today. Okay, so now we'll put a little bit of silicone on the top. As you can see, there's a little gap up here. Try to close this up as much as possible. And I just do this because this helps hold the top on. And sometimes you really can't put too much of this on because it'll try to, these new smokers will seep everywhere. And before I do it too, I will also fill up the wick and just let it kind of sit with some oil in advance. And there's two ways this goes. The notch right here goes toward the element wire, just that way. I'll just kind of try to get some more of this little silicone around it. Just enough to kind of hold it in place. Now I'll come back around these, just kind of smear it over a little bit. Good to go. Okay. We'll get ready to get set up and we'll test it. Okay, here we go. So we will hook this up, and I just run about halfway. And here we go. Let's see what she does. A little bit coming out. Looking pretty good. That's not a whole lot of power going into it either, so she's doing really well. Down a little bit. You see, it's working really good. And it should be ready to install. Okay, well, let's tape this one out. We will install the new rebuilt smoker into it. This is the part a lot of people are nervous about, but no big deal. Go. Just gonna heat her up, get the wire off. There we go. Okay, so now we have smoker by itself. Take the front truck assembly out. Now if you're not going to use the front truck, save the motor mount. But this particular one I'm going to make into a firestack smoker, so I will be reusing the front trucks and the whole system. Short of this will just get changed out. Let's take off the power wire for the smoker. Okay, it's a pivot. Excuse me. So. Alright, this was being a pain. This one off, arms out. Now there are two tabs under here. The tabs are right here. And a simple pair of needle nose will straighten these out. can normally get a pair of screwdriver underneath it. Just start prying up a little bit. That'll help straighten it out as well. Now it makes it a little more easier when it's off to kind of straighten these up a little bit. These tabs are part of the frame. You want to break those off. So once we get that, you can just kind of pry it right onto the place. Again, once you get the full thing off, come in here, you can see how more messed up they are. You just want to be careful. You don't want to twist them too much because these will break. Okay. New one. So I always take these, twist them over to the side, reinsert. Sometimes these can be interesting to get back together because they were bent. Now you're trying to put it back on. Sometimes you just gotta keep fiddling with it till you get them straight. It's basically just a small bracket. Just flatten her back out again. Basically just trying to get these as flat as possible. Sometimes they can be cantankerous, but sometimes you can get a pair of needle or wire cutters down in here. You want to get these twisted enough so that they don't move around. So if you can get a pair of wire cutters in here, be real careful so don't cut them. And you see how it's still loose? See? It just didn't hold it. It can just be, just got to keep trying. Okay, Well, she fought me for a little bit, but we got her now. So, here we go. Put your flapper and your rods back on. Now you really want to make sure that these are timed correctly. By that I mean the wheels each side, so that they're pushing the same time. A little bit more. There we go. I had it. There we go. So, and by timed I mean down here. You want these about the same space so that they push. There is some room. They do have some adjustment. This one's just being a pain in the rear. Goodness gracious. Work, fingers, work. There we go. Alright. And that's what we're looking for. Just that it moves back and forth. No big binds. What we do see here a little bit. Looks like it might be catching a little bit. You gotta watch that when it goes back together too. What are they hitting? Sometimes it's this bracket. Looks good. Okay, let's get set up to solder it in. Okay, so basically all you need to do is get yourself set up to where you can throw some solder on it and get them to stick. The negative I always run here. Just seems to be about the easiest way to do it. If you get a ball of solder down there, now, here is this one. You just kind of touch her up right here. That's hot. Negative one will come here. I'll take these and move these up out of the way. Just kind of make it so that it's not going to get in the way of anything. Now when I put a light in, the light will be mounted over in this area, and then it'll also come over and get wired in here. But let's hook this up and see if we have power. Negative on the case, and we'll throw about medium power up on it. Yeah, let's just turn it off. We'll come back, hit this at the back, power pick up, and we'll see how this goes. Go. Now this one looks like it'll need tightened up a little more, as you can see. It's looking pretty darn good. So let's just give this another little twist too and see if we can get it worked out here. Basically, that's all it takes. Okay, let's see if this tightens up. Let's see. She's looking pretty good. Doesn't move around too much, but not a good amount. No leaks. Looking pretty good. Sounds like the motor's a little dry. Might need a little lubing. But other than that, she's good to go. Okay, let's get this solder back on. Back on with it. Give her a test. Sometimes it helps just to get these adjusted. If you didn't notice, I can see I already had it alight. This would be fairly easy. Just get it back upon there. Sure, fairly easy. Famous last words. Okay. Now, just heat it up a little bit. There we go. Let's put it back together. Now we're going to watch as we assemble. We want to make sure we get the light in the stack. Get ready to take this thing for a test run here. I like to build them and then put oil in them while I'm doing it, and then I run them and test them, and then let them soak in oil overnight as well. So let's go ahead and give this a test on the tracks. Alright, let's give her a shot, see what she does. Looks like a strong smoker. Slow speed and putting out a lot of effort. Really looks like he's got flames going out there too. Looks pretty good.